Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Dee and this is How Dee Does It. Today I'm actually showing you the end result of the nails first because it was a process and sometimes you have to just learn how to trust the process. For this set I'll be using Rosalind's color C372. This pastel yellow. It was such a beautiful color and it went on like butter. I love it. The opacity was on point for one coat, maybe two coats depending on how thin you spread it. Also, I'm using their clear acrylic, which is in C103, as well as this Renfio Iridescent glitter for my sugar, and all links will be in the description. I use the clear acrylic to mix with some glitter as well as some mica powders, and that's how I made the yellow acrylic that I'm using in the video today. And you can see the swatch of that color. And then I also used two acrylics, and I will link them. They're link those in the description below as well, to make this custom glitter mix. And it was so pretty. I wish my nails were a little bit longer so that you could really see it a little bit better, but you see it. I did that. Yep. And you can do it too. I'm going to start to do more mixing with mica powders and acrylic powder and glitter, so more videos to come on that. But back to this color mix, the yellow that I was using, it was just a tad bit too bright. So I just mixed a little white in there just to soften that color a little bit. So that's all I'm showing you now. The same concept was used to actually mix up the mica powder with the acrylic. Again, I used the clear acrylic C102 and I mixed it with a little bit of the yellow mica powder and a little bit of white to soften it to get the exact color that I wanted. And the last thing I used was this Cover Pink from Young Nails. Alright, so let's get into the video. I'm just going to say that the whole process starting after this clip is going to be super sped up, because if I left it in real time, you will be on this video for the next 6 hours. So it is condensed to 30 minutes for your viewing pleasure. You're welcome. So as a beginner using acrylic, I just, appreciate the polygel experience. Using the acrylic, I was a little more frustrated, and you can just kind of look and see in some of the clips that I wanted to use it the same way, pat, 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 smooth, 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 as I was using the polygel. I wanted to hold my finger at the same angle as I did in using polygel, and those are no-nos. The other thing for me, and other people make it look so easy. For me, it was hard to record myself applying the acrylic, and so I struggled trying to hold my finger so that I can see it, and to hold it in angles so that it will be captured on the video. So you'll see me move out of focus a lot, so my apologies for that. The other thing that I learned is that temperature matters. It was very hot. It was a pretty warm day already, and I am in an office with only one vent, and I had the heat from the lights and the closed door, so air was not really circulating in the office. And so that acrylic was like setting super fast, and I had barely enough time to work with it. So definitely I would be in a cooler room. As a beginner, I would like more time to actually be able to manipulate and work with the acrylic before it set. So that was a learning experience. That was a life lesson. But what I had said to myself is to still trust the process, one. And my thought process was more is better. So you will see me shellac it on. But then it was very easy to file off, and it didn't take me that much time to actually file the nails down to where I wanted them to be. Alright, y'all, I'm just talking away and not even telling you what is going on in this video. When I say these nails stressed me out that day, they really stressed me out. And just looking through doing this voiceover, I'm just reliving every moment, every learning moment of it. So the first nail, I just used the cover peach and did a total nail on that middle finger. And then on this finger, I am using a thin layer of the yellow acrylic. Again, it was a custom mix using clear acrylic, yellow and white mica to achieve the color that I wanted. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so that you'll know each and every time I upload a video. If you are enjoying the content, don't be afraid to hit that like button. And if you're feeling generous, leave me a comment. Leave me a yellow heart if you really like these nails. Alright, so the next part that is coming up is another little life lesson that I learned. And so I'm doing, the intention was to do an ombre with the cover peach at the top and the yellow down at the bottom. And what I realized as I'm doing this voiceover and after the fact is it's best to do an ombre wet. So what I should have done was put the yellow in and then ombre the cover peach right on top of it while it was still wet. I think this is my second acrylic set, and I've done 2 polygel sets within the past 2 months. And another lesson that I learned is keep anything that you're going to encapsulate very thin so that you don't have thick and bulky nails. Now, believe me, this is easier said than done because, again, my thought process on these nails was more is better. So, but the more you put on there and it is not correct, keep in mind you're going to have to file it off, which means if you are a nail tech, you're going to be using your wrist more, and that could lead to carpal tunnel syndrome, or burning out your, using more files or using more bits. So if you can get the right amount, then you keep your costs low and profits high. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm just going to let you listen to a little bit of music, and I'm going to continue to work on these nails, and I'll come back when I start something new. Alright, so here we are at the portion where I am attempting to do my ombre, and hindsight is 2020, but like I said earlier in the video, it's best to do your ombre wet. So Ideally, I should have done the yellow part and then went in and did the cover peach part to have a better ombre experience there. So I know moving forward, I'm going to be practicing ombre so that I can be aware of how I need to lay the acrylic in order for the ombre to be exactly where I want it. For example, if I wanted the ombre to be at the end of the nail or at the tip of the nail around the cuticle area, or if I wanted to, be in the middle of the nail, I need to be aware of my acrylic placement. So I did the ombre on my pinky as well as my thumbnail. And my thumbnail, for some reason, thumbs are super hard. I don't know why, but they just are. But look at my pointer finger. Do you see how thin that nail is compared to the other nails? So that lets me know that I did a pretty good job keeping that acrylic very thin so that I can apply the encapsulation on top of it. So I'm proud of myself there. One of the things that I did to have the acrylic not set up on me as fast was I didn't take as much monomer off of the brush. I left it kind of wet. So that is probably the only reason why I'm able to work with this acrylic in it, because if not, it would have just dried as like 2 seconds after I laid it on the nail. So even from that experience, the products that I used, this Rosalind clear acrylic powder, it was some good clear acrylic, and you'll see that in my ring fingernail how clear it actually is. It didn't set up super fast, and even with it being super saturated with monomer, it didn't set up super slow because I only did 5 fingers, and as soon as I was finished, I was able to go in and start filing, and by the time I got to my thumbnail, it was already dry. So I am very happy and pleased with the product that from Rosalind, their clear acrylic. The gel polish, I believe, came in a set of 6 or 7, and if I can find that video, I'll also link that, or either I may play it in the top of the screen along with this video. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but all of the products that I have from Rosalind are available at Amazon, and I'll put them in the links below. And today is June the 28th. On the 11th and 12th of July, there will be Amazon Prime Day. I'm not sure if Rosalind will be having any additional discounts, but if you're going to purchase anything anytime soon, my suggestion would be to save $1 and purchase on Amazon Prime Day. Now we are on the ring finger, and the same concept was used. Keep it thin and then encapsulate with clear. I just made sure that I had all the glitters where I wanted them to be before I encapsulated. So again, I am going to let this play out and then come back at the next step. So now we are at the part where I'm going in and just clear capping, and as you will see, this acrylic goes on with ease. It really was the best part of the application because it was so effortless. I mean, I really tried by at this point to remember everything that I learned. And so you see on this one, I actually put the bead on and then I tap, tap, tap down to walk the acrylic down the end of the nail. And then I just went in at the end of the nail and put in another bead and worked that down to the tip of the nail. So at this point, I kind of have my rhythm going, and you know, it's looking pretty good. I'm planning on doing a couple of more acrylic sets over the 4th of July holiday and at least a couple of times during the week because I really do like acrylic. The smell doesn't really bother me, and I do have some of those drops from Not Polished, but to be honest with you, they don't work. I mean, I still smell the acrylic. My husband said that he can smell like a fruity smell that's not acrylic, but for the most part, I still smell the acrylic, and it doesn't bother me. I also like the fact that you have limitless possibilities of colors and mixes if you have clear acrylic, if you have glitter, and if you have mica powders. Alright, so the same thing, I'm just gonna clear cap on the finger that I did the glitter mix on, and you can see, I mean, now how clear it is going on. And again, after I put the top coat on, but this acrylic powder was super clear, no bubbles, and I just love the fact, I just loved how easy it went on. Like, it was very beginner friendly. The one thing that I also noticed, and I forgot to mention it earlier, on the ones that I did the ombre on, I should have actually done those thinner, a little thinner, but really the only place that I needed to protect or put the clear coat on was over the ombre so that I don't file that away. So that's what you see me doing here, just putting it over that ombre. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we are finally on the thumb. It is the last nail. And this has been a process. It has been a learning process, and I appreciate every step of my journey. To save a little bit of time, I am going to file off camera. But here is all the acrylic applied. They are not super thick, but yeah, they're going to need some work. I left this one little clip in because I am no good when it comes to my nails being even and filing. So one of the things that I started doing was holding the file in the middle of the nail and then seeing which side needs more filing to make it straighter. Goals, y'all. I got many goals. So the artwork here I feel like is very beginner friendly and doesn't really need a lot of explanation. I just did a really quick free edge French on the ring finger, and it's using the polish that I mixed up. Again, straight out of the bottle, you'll see it's a little darker, and so I had to use a little white just to bring out that pastel in the yellow. So here's a lesson learned. In the future, I'll be writing down exactly what I'm putting on each nail prior to making the video, because what happened was I totally forgot what I was supposed to have on each nail. And so you see me going in and actually painting this nail that I put that beautiful yellow custom acrylic mix on, and all I was supposed to do was top coat it. Yeah, lessons learned. This video was full of lessons learned. And here's where you can see that straight out the bottle, it was too yellow. And so I actually went back in and grabbed some of the polish that I had mixed up just to soften that pastel yellow just the slightest little bit. I'm going to do the same thing for the middle finger, and then I'm going to go in with a second coat on both the pointer and the middle finger. So the second coat on the pointer finger, I left it wet so that I can just sugar this nail. And when I tell you, this glitter is the bomb. And it wasn't very... I'm a texture person, and I was able to just leave it raw on my nails. So it wasn't very gritty or grainy, if that makes sense. So after I applied the glitter, you saw me just run my finger over. I was just checking to see if I was going to be able to live with it raw or not. And then the last step is, of course, apply top coat and finish the nail set with cuticle oil. Probably a lesson learned in just going back and reviewing this footage. I would have put my top coat on prior to sugaring the nail. Okay, my friends, we are finally at the end of this video, and I am so happy and I am so proud of myself. The nails turned out so beautiful, and I'm just gonna sit here and look at them to the end of this video. Thanks for staying with me, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.